The Cuban Communist top gathering opened sessions in Havana, presided over by the General Secretary of the political organization, Raul Castro, who is expected to hand over his post to a new leader to be elected by the Congress. The changing of the guard marks the first time in more than 60 years that Cuba will not have a leader named Castro.
I conclude my task as first secretary of the Communist Party of Cuba, satisfied with having met my duties and confident in the future of our homeland.
During the Congress's opening session, also attended by President Miguel Diaz-Canel, Raul Castro reiterated Cuba's position towards normalizing relations with the United States.
Ratifico desde este Congreso del Partido.
I ratify our willingness to hold a respectful dialogue and build a new kind of relation with the United States without any pretensions that Cuba should renounce the principles of its revolution and socialism.
The four-day meeting includes debates over the future of the party, with some on the island calling for radical change and financial reforms. The 8th Congress is expected to be a starting point for new generations to keep boosting crucial social and economic transformations started by the revolution's historic generations to advance the socialist project declared by Cuban Revolution leader Fidel Castro on April 16, 1961. Luis Chirino, CGTN, Havana. Well, actually, this decision is not news because for some years ago he had already announced that he would retire. For instance, when the current Cuban president, Miguel Diaz-Canel, was sworn in back in 2018, Raul Castro praised this personality, saying, or talking about his origin, his preparation as a leader, etc. And then he said that in due course, this president could be the person that would assume also the responsibility of leading the Communist Party. Today, in the opening session of the 8th Congress of the Communist Party of Cuba, Raul Castro again reiterated his decision to step down and saying that he was very satisfied that he had met his duties and that he was confident with the future of the country, bearing in mind that since he took power as president before and then afterwards as first secretary of the Communist Party, he implemented a series of reforms that led the country into a different and advanced stage of socialism, which lifted a lot of prohibitions, opened up to the world in terms of the market reforms. He also allowed private businesses, and he also encouraged the possibility that the private initiative would grow more. So he sort of implemented a series of changes that Cubans were already waiting for years. So then on top of that, now he's stepping down, but he's also giving or letting this legacy to the new person who's going to be elected in this Congress. This Congress is a has a fourth-day agenda, and in the last day they are supposed to elect the Central Committee, the Politburo, and also the President, the Secretary General, or the First Secretary and Second Secretary.